And so, yeah, so as it turns out, if you look at it from that perspective, it's like this is now a preventable solution. This is now something that's in our system that we could potentially do something about. And so I just started like, what are we going to do about this, right? And I don't know. So that's kind of where it came from. And so I wrote a second book. And at this point, AI had come out. So of course I used AI and I wrote, kind of a shitty, repetitive book and kind of went through this process and like, hey, let's talk about food rescue. Let's talk about this. So I now have, two books up on Amazon. And it's still not getting any traction because I hadn't quite figured out how to market myself yet. And I hadn't really figured out that side of the equation. But I'm going around and I'm talking to people and I'm making connections and I'm starting to have this conversation. And then all of a sudden I started seeing this weird thing where like I'd get a lot of interest and I'd get excitement and I'd get support. And then all of a sudden I'd get crickets and I'd get like not return calls and no returned emails and getting ghosted by nonprofit organizations and getting ghosted by government agencies. And I'm like, what the is going on here? And and so comes to find out that it's not just a Nevada problem. Like we've got a problem in our nonprofit sector where you've got organizations that basically see a competitive threat with anything that disrupts the status quo. And so I'm running, and once again, I'm running face first into this, and I'm like, I did not expect this. So it's been an interesting kind of journey where I'm just like, hey, I'm literally just like asking questions and saying, hey, why don't we do this thing? And have we tried this? And hey, if we haven't tried this, why don't we, put together a coalition and make this happen? And then I'm finding out that, oh, well, I'm actually stepping on the toes of, you know, funded nonprofit organizations that are really invested in just kind of maintaining things as they are. I'm like, wow, that's not cool. So along come this year, and just a few months ago, I had a better quality AI, and we've had all the advances. And I went through and I said, hey, let's take these first two books I wrote and shove them into the AI and turn it into a single book. And so I spent a few months kind of figuring it out, and I came out with this. Actually, I think it's an amazing book. It's only like 114 pages long, but it's just jam packed with an amazing story about like this is how we fix these problems.